Davante to LA makes them the number one receiving duo in the league.
No. I don't agree yet, but I think you can make the case for it because, like, we got to respect Davante for what he's done. I mean, if you ask around the league, people, all these receivers, if you ever see them on podcasts or anything, like, Davante's still, like, a top guy to them. Obviously, rough year last year. He was kind of in a shit show. There's nothing really you can do about it. He had a 200-yard second half.
He did not have a rough year. Like he was on a rough team, but him and the Rodgers connection was unbelievable. And I think him and Stafford, along with Puka on the other side, like he can have a very similar result. That's what I'm saying. Like those two with Stafford, and then a decent run game behind Kyron, I think they can be right back in there like NFC Championship talks.
100%, especially when you talk. The thing that the Rams have done so well is they just built their team through the draft, really. Like they've hit on so many draft picks.
Mid to late round picks
so many picks, bro. Like they were
not big time. I mean, don't get me wrong, like they've had some good first rounders, but like their mid round drafting, like that's what makes or breaks teams, dude. Mm-hmm. It's like it's not really like the first round guys like I'm not saying they always bust out, but those mid-round guys, like, they fill up the team and they fill up the depth. Like, that's what you need for a good team.
Yeah. And then we're not even talking about, like, Blake Corum, who I think, like, that duo of those two guys back there, I think they can really do a lot of damage.
If he gets his footing in, he could be a really good running back.
Dude, he's legit good, and obviously Kyron's one of the best in the league. I mean, especially at just finding the end zone. I think he had the CMC-esque streak of getting into the end zone.
I think he did, yeah.
It
was double-digit games.
It was a lot. He was living in the end zone.
That Rams offense was clicking towards the end of the year, and their defense was playing like on another level in the playoffs. Like we all saw, like how in the divisional round, like they were just going after fucking Sam. They got to him fucking 7 times or whatever. So if they can repeat like that, get that defense back on that same pace. And then that offense hits a stride because to me Adams is an upgrade from Kupp. At this point in Kupp's career and Adams' career, he's a major upgrade in my eyes.
Well, especially the type of receiver Davante is versus Kupp. Like Kupp's more of like that slot guy. You know, he's small, but he's quick and fast. Quick footwork, all that stuff. But really, the biggest issue for him is he just hasn't been available.
No.
And every time that he was available and fully healthy, like the beginning of the year, I think it was the first game of the season, like Cooper Kupp went off.
Yeah.
And then Puka got hurt, and then and then Kupp was kind of having an okay, run, and then he got hurt, and then Puka came back. And Puka is just, I think that's really the thing to me is like when you're talking about this duo, like Puka really has solidified himself as like a top 5 to 7 wide receiver.
I think so.
I think going into last year, people were like, well, he had that really good rookie season, but let's see him do it again. And he came in and he was the clear number one guy. I mean, I don't know. Didn't he have like 150 yards in one of their playoff games or something?
Oh, yeah, it was something crazy, like 170, 180, something like that.
He's legit one of those guys. Like he's a top guy in the league. And then with Stafford, and then you got.
But it's also sorry to cut you off, but like McVay also knows that he's the guy that needs to get the ball like from here on out.
100%.
Obviously, Cooper Kupp is on his way out, or he is on his way out. He's gone, but like he knew that Puka was the future of this offense and the guy that Stafford needs to feed. So, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
And McVay knows what he's doing. Like there's never going to be a doubt that Puka Nacua, as long as he stays healthy, is going to get his share of the targets.
Yeah. And then if Davante and Stafford can kind of get a connection, I mean, that offense is going to be insane.
I mean, they were 10-7 when they were mainly hurt all year, and then now you're getting healthy and you're getting better. Like they can go 13-4 next year. They can go 14-3 if they get a good schedule. You know what I mean? Like it's scary. Their defense is not improving.
The defense was good, and it's young.
Yeah.
And it's young. It's a young defense.
I think they're a legit Super Bowl contender next year.
For sure. I mean, they were in the NFC Championship this year. I mean, there's
they
no reason
they got better.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if that game doesn't start snowing, who knows what really happens? That NFC Championship game, like Stafford,
I think the Rams win.
Yeah, the Stafford is still throwing the ball really well, but it's just harder to come from behind when you got weather like that, and they're able to run the ball so well because of Saquon.
Yeah,
it's like that game really changed because of the weather.
100%. Yeah, especially like just everything just played into the Eagles' hand in that game.
All right, so I said that they're the number one receiving duo. Why don't you guys give me your top 5?
You go first.
Top 5 duos.
Top 5?
Yeah. Right now, regardless of what's going on free agency, guys that are just currently on teams now.
All right.
You know, Burke and Ross. I've been thinking about number 5 for a little bit.
Coming for the clip.
I got the Jags with Cooper Kupp and BTJ at number 5. I mean, I'm putting it right out there.
So let's just ignore the one thing I said. Like, we're not talking who might come in free agency. Who's on the team right now?
Cooper Kupp is a lot for the Jags. Jags are a top 5 duo in the NFL. BTJ is
that's
that
like me saying, like, all right, I'm going to put the Jets at 3 because Stephon Diggs is going to be a New York Jet.
So, yeah, Stephon Diggs isn't even good. So, listen.
It's not even good.
Once the Jags get Cooper Kupp, you're talking about they got 4 good guys. Gabe Davis would be wide receiver 4 on that team.
Gabe Davis is wide receiver 4 everywhere, bro.
All right, we don't need an explanation on this bullshit Jags story. Who's next?
At 4, I'm going to go with the Eagles. I think A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Yeah, there's 3 duos that are significantly better in my opinion. It's a good duo, but they're definitely better. So at 3, I got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and the Vikings. I think Jordan Jefferson is that good.
Justin Jefferson.
He's great. Formed into one man.
Justin Jefferson
it's
and
like
Jordan
the Power
Addison.
Rangers.
Jennings and Jordan Addison. No. Listen, I think Jennings is so good, he just propels the Vikings core duo over the Eagles. I think Davante is better than Jordan Addison, but Jennings is him. At 2, I got the Rams. I got Davante Adams and Puka Nacua. I think they're right there, but they're not better than the Bengals duo and Chase and Higgins.
So you got Chase and T at 1?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
For sure.
I guess I can go next. I actually rank my top 10 wide receiver duos in the NFL. So at 10, I got George Pickens and DK Metcalf.
10?
10. I think it's fair. We haven't seen him yet, and we don't know who the quarterback is. I don't know. I'm just cool with them at 10. 9, I got CD and whoever the fuck you want to say for the Cowboys.
CD is allowed to do that. How can you say CD and player to be named later is better than
CD
2 guys
and
who are
whoever you want to
team?
say. CD and whoever you want to say. I'm rolling with that. CD's.
I think that's a good place for Diggs.
It could be.
If it's Diggs, I think it's.
Do they still have Tolbert?
Huh? What's up?
Tolbert?
Yeah, he's like their wide receiver. Yeah,
realistically, anyone you want to say from the Cowboys who they'll have.
You talking about Turbin?
No,
Tolbert.
Jalen Tolbert.
Tolbert's decent. I think it's whoever they pair with CD because CD is that good. He's a clear-cut top 5 guy.
I think if it's Diggs, I'll give it to you. But like player to be named later, I can't say.
Maybe they do
say
get
right now.
It could be Oladame Zacchaeus as your wide receiver 2. And you're saying
I'm still rocking with
I heard Michael Gallup's coming out of retirement.
All right.
Bro.
8, Mike Evans and the newly re-signed Chris Godwin. 7, I got Jamison Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. 6, Terry McLaurin and Debo. I think Terry finally had his breakout year because he actually had a quarterback who could throw the ball, which he has never really had in his career. 5, out of respect, I'll give it to Tyreek and Waddle. I don't feel good about that at all, but Tyreek did, he had a bad year last year, but he did have almost 2,000 yards the year before, so you got to kind of respect that. 4, I got AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. 3, I have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Wow.
2, I have Davante Adams and Puka Nacua, and 1, I have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Mainly because I just think Justin Jefferson is far away the best wide receiver. I think Jordan Addison's good, but it's more disrespect to Jettis.
No, you can't say far and away because Jamar Chase was so much better than in the past year.
No, he wasn't.
Honestly, I think Jordan Addison is a lot better than T. Higgins.
You're bugging.
Jordan Addison's really good. T.
Higgins was also like just faking an injury because he wanted to get traded this year,
and we don't even know.
And he's gonna he got tagged again this year. He's gonna be even more upset. Yeah, get ready for that fake fucking hammy coming again, bro. That is not the number 1 duo. It's just to me, it's
you almost flipped me though. I had Davante and Puka at 2, and I came really close to switching it, and then I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just ride with it.
All right. I'm basing my list off just player talent alone. I'm ignoring everything else. Like I think having to me, it's Pickens and DK. I'm going just talent of the player ignoring who is throwing him the ball, because obviously nobody knows who's throwing the ball. I think it's going to be Rodgers, and if it is Rodgers,
at 5, you have them
at 5, number 5. I mean, honorable mentions to me, and I think there's a lot of fucking slack going towards these guys, but that Green Bay fucking duo of Watson and Jaden and Jordan,
that's disgusting.
It's just not. It's just not. They're a good receiving duo. When healthy and playing well, they're a good receiving duo. I think they're on that fringe. I think the Tampa Bay duo, Mike Evans, is going to eventually have to show some age. There's nobody across from CD. Debo's got to stay healthy. Who else you had here? I think Jameson Williams is so overrated. I think all he is a deep ball threat, and I hate Jaden Waddle because fuck him.
I mean, I can't blame you for hating Jalen Waddle. He's pretty mid.
That's purely based off New York Jets hate. He can go fuck himself.
All right, so let's get your top 5.
All right, 5 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. DK, Pickens. To me, that is just an elite combo. Whoever's throwing the ball can really just throw it up to DK. Quick hitters over to Pickens, whatever. Number 4, I am going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals.
You're crazy, bro.
I think T.
You're
Higgins,
crazy.
like I said, I think T. Higgins is going to be super frustrated off of this fucking second franchise tag. He is going to be faking injuries, doing whatever he can, bitching and moaning. He is fucking pissed.
You just said we're ranking on if they lined up.
I also think he's so overrated. He's also overrated.
Bro had 3 touchdowns in a game with 161 yards, and he's overrated,
that's
bro?
Sick, bro.
Didn't Gabe Davis have 4 touchdowns in the playoffs?
Yeah, bro.
But that was a He does this on the regular.
That was one game.
He was like the wide receiver 12 in fantasy.
T. Higgins is overrated. He's a good receiver. He is not some dominant guy. He's because you know what it is. If you made him the number 1, I don't think he survives. I think Jordan Addison had games without Justin Jefferson and played like a number 1.
T. Higgins also has done that multiple times.
He's not doing it.
All right, so that was your 4?
Yeah,
that was number 4.
Okay.
Yes. Who did I have in number 3? I'm going the Philadelphia Eagles at number 3. Devonta Smith to me is the best number 2 receiver in the league. Sorry, behind Jordan Addison. He's the second best number 2 receiver in the league. It's just he's proven it time and time again. When AJ Brown goes down, he's just playing at an elite level. Number 2, I got the Minnesota Vikings. Results are what they are. Justin Jefferson's possibly the number 1 receiver in the league. Jordan Addison balled out last year. Questionable this year with the QB, but and then number 1 is you have 2 number 1s. You have 2 legitimate number 1s. Davante Adams, a future Hall of Famer. Puka Nacua on the up and up. Just keep showing better and better. They're the number 1 receiving duo in the league.
Let me ask you a question. Where do you rank Jamar Chase in the league in terms of wide receivers?
2 behind Justin Jefferson. They have 2 number 1s. They have 2 guys who are a number 1 on just about every other team outside of this number. And honestly, they're number 1 on the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're a number 1. He's
who is
Davante Adams.
You think Davante Adams would be the number 1 on the Jaguars? He would absolutely not be that.
He's absolutely better than Brian Thomas.
No, he is not.
Stop it.
What are we talking about?
The bias is unbelievable.
Crazy.
He came into a team on the New York Jets and just started hogging shit. He just started shoving Garrett Wilson off to the side. Garrett Wilson is better than Brian Thomas.
What? Bro. Brian Thomas had almost 1,400 yards last year. What are we talking about?
You gonna tell me he's a better talent than Garrett Wilson?
Absolutely.
You're out of your fucking mind.
Absolutely.
That is just crazy.
Yo, Tom is. Oh my gosh, bro.
Saying Brian Thomas is better than Garrett Wilson is ridiculous.
It's very, very obvious. If you
just really.
All right. So someone put up a poll on Twitter because. Either way, I'm gonna put it on my Jags page. I'm gonna put it on my actual page.
You put it on the Jags page.
Yeah. Obviously, exactly.
I'll put it on the Instagram. I'll make a poll on the Instagram.
But you have a majority
put it on the
New York
Jags poll. That'll be saying what do you think about Donald Trump? CNN.
I'll put it on.
Bro, Jags are all Republican. What are you talking about?
Huh?